What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Mommy Needs a Break. It is a podcast for new moms who don't have it together because we don't ever have it together. So thank you for joining us. My name is Megan Thomas at Meg Scoop Everywhere.
And I'm Marisa Johnson at She Is Marisa J. Make sure to follow our podcast on all platforms on MNAB Podcasts, and make sure to visit our website at mnabpodcast.com and join the Patreon if you want exclusive content. We have some good giveaways, behind the scenes. Join our Patreon for $3. And support us.
All right, y'all. So every episode, we got something good for you. Today, we're talking about flying with babies during COVID. We're talking about normalizing vagina care. I want to say this, vagina. I don't know why that's on my spirit. But first, you see this beautiful lady in purple over here. She's a dog mama. She's a ramen connoisseur, and she's the founder and CEO of the Honeypot Company. You guys give it up for Bea Dixon. Thank you for joining us.
No, thank you for having me.
We're so excited. When I first heard about the Honeypot Company, I was in the store scrolling through the aisles looking for non-chlorinated tampons, something that was more natural than what I had been finding. And I actually found your product. And then I was like, oh, I'll just try it. I loved it. And then I found out that it was owned by a Black woman, and I was so excited about that.
Thank you.
You have a great product.
Thank you.
All right, and we also, for you listeners, we have a special code for you viewers and listeners. So don't go anywhere because we're going to give it to you at the end of the show. You got to listen. But we got a special code, discount code, to get some Honeypot Company products. All right?
Yes, but before we get into all of that, this segment is called Ain't No Shame. It is our mommy shameful parenting moments, basically, where we don't judge each other because, why would we do that? So today, my Ain't No Shame, I actually flew with my baby, my 7-month-old baby this week to Oakland to visit my family. No one has met my daughter. She's almost 7 months. I was tired of it. My friend opened up her restaurant, Horn Barbecue, this week. And I was just like, whatever, I'm jumping on this airplane. And when I posted it, so many people messaged me and shamed me for flying with her. And I was just like, whatever, I don't even care at this point. This girl is almost 1 year old. She hasn't met her aunts, her cousins, my grandma, nobody. Yeah. So it was just and I went to my grandma's house. I expected her to keep me out on the porch, but she was just like, whatever, come in the house. I don't even care. Yeah. Let me see my grandbaby. So ain't no shame. I don't care.
Ain't no shame. She's fine, girl. She's fine. Have you, go ahead, Bea.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, have you been traveling or flying during COVID?
Yeah.
I think the first time I was I was the weirdo because I had the face mask and I had a face shield and I had a hood. I was like, okay. And then I was looking at myself I look stupid. I look dumb as hell. And then I was like, okay, maybe not all this next time. So then I started loosening up just to now I wear the mask.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to take care of yourself, really. You know what I mean?
You be doing all that too, or you just have the mask on?
No, I just have on a mask.
Oh, so I'm the only one here looking stupid is what y'all telling me?
No, if that's what you need to, if that's what you need to make yourself feel safe, then that's what you do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I wasn't tripping. I feel like my kids have really strong immune systems, and I feel like I do. So, knock on wood. Something happens.
Send
something
up a
happens,
prayer, girl. We good.
I had to see my grandma. I was bawling, crying. I have not seen my grandma in so long. I was I have to see my family. I have not seen any of my family. So I'm here for 7 days. Maybe I'll stay longer, but
that's what I said. I hadn't seen my parents, and my son is their first grandkid. So it's they hadn't seen him in 5 months. And I felt so bad because they're just isolated, And so I was like, look, at the end of the day, I know there's I had a friend of mine whose father actually passed away from COVID. And I was like, I would hate for that to be, something that happens to my family. And I didn't spend time with my dad or my mom, and I didn't take my son. So I was like, you know what? We're going to have to chance it. Sorry. Yeah. And my dad was, and they were, sometimes you got to do that, right?
Yeah. I'm here, guys. Hit me up if you want to see me.
Exactly.
All right, B, it's time to scroll. This is a segment of our show where we talk about what's on our timeline. Sometimes we like to escape from our kids and take a break. We go on the toilet and we scroll on our timeline. So when we scrolled on the timeline, so some stuff that came out last week actually was the whole Breonna Taylor issue with these officers. So none of the 3 officers involved were actually charged for her killing. Only one of them got indicted, and that was for wanton endangerment, which basically just says it's a charge that applies to the risk he put on her neighbors by like not aiming correctly or whatever, but it has nothing to do with the responsibility of her death. And so, you know, this hits close to home for me because it happened in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm from Radcliffe, which is like 30 minutes away. So, you know, just this whole issue, it made me sad because it's just like, again, here's another reminder that Black people don't matter in America, especially Black women. Like, when are people going to care about us, you know? And go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, B. Please go. Yes.
We matter, but shit happens.
Right.
Terrible things happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these systems were put into place, and they're doing what they were put into place for.
Right.
That does not mean that we don't matter. If we matter to us, then we matter, right? Everybody's putting their voice out and putting energy towards Breonna matters. We matter. You know, we just happen to live in a society, you know, that wasn't really built for us.
Right.
Unfortunately.
So what do we do? Because I keep asking this question to myself. Like, this is not a new story. You know what I'm saying? Like, this has been happening to our people for hundreds and hundreds of years. Same issue. You know, this is how it was written into this, like, different laws back in the day that have just made their way to 2020. Like, how do we do anything different? What can we do? What do we do?
I don't have the answer to that question.
Me neither, because it's heartbreaking. I don't have, you know, when I think about, like, what do I tell my son? What do I tell, you know, my nieces and nephew? Like, what do I say? The truth.
Yeah. which is, these are the systems that are put in place, right? Pay attention.
Yeah. And even like you said, you know, like saying the truth. And I think, like you said, people are sharing on their platforms. You know, even last week when we talked to Charles Johnson and his powerful story about his kid losing his wife during her C-section, you know, that was a whole other issue that, I mean, I kind of knew about, but I didn't know to the extent. And when you're able to put a face to the story and you're able to like hear a story that's personal to someone, you know, it's no longer just a hashtag. It's no longer just, you know, the top story on somebody's timeline. You know, it becomes personal, you know, and the more we keep talking and the more we keep sharing our personal stories, it's like, that's one thing we can do.
I want to be like, everybody, raise your children to befriend or date a white person so that they can understand how your feelings are as a Black person.
Oh my gosh, Kanye West has a line like that in one of his raps. He says like, I don't even know verbatim, but it basically is like, impregnate a Becky and you're gonna have another Black person. And I was like, has anybody ever read this? Because I've read it like years ago, and I was like, was that his master plan to make more Black kids? I'm confused. I don't know.
We might as well, guys. We got to change this country. So B, let's talk about, you know, this kind of goes into what your situation with, I would just say, being a Black woman and how you even started this company. Because when I look on your products, it tells a story of your own, you know, your own personal story. Can you talk about that and like how you even came up with, you know, the idea to do Honeypot?
Yeah, I mean, my personal story is I literally had an infection that I couldn't get rid of. And I had it for almost a year. And I had a very vivid dream with my grandmother, who basically handed me a piece of paper and it had a list of ingredients. And she told me in the dream to remember it. Like, she kept telling me that. And when I woke up, I wrote it down and I made it within a couple of days. And then and then it worked. And so that's how we got started in the feminine hygiene business.
That is wait, so hold on. We got to stop, because that in itself, first of all, I love dreams, and I love dreams that have ancestors in them. Okay. I'd be asking the Lord all the time, can you send my grandma? So wait, when you were in the dream and she like, when you woke up, were you like, that was weird? Or were you like, oh, I know exactly what this is for?
Well, she told me that it was because she had been with me and watching me struggle with BV. So she told me what it was for, you know, and she told me that it would solve my problem. And that's what she said.
Right.
And so, yeah, she was very specific.
And then wait, when you used it, were you like 100, like, oh yeah, this about to work? Or were you just kind of like, I don't know what's going on, I'm gonna try it, we'll see what happens?
I was just like, I'm gonna try it, we'll see what happens.
And then wait, when it worked, this is so intriguing to me. When it worked, were you just like, okay, I'm about to start selling this, mass producing this, or like, why don't people know about this? What was your reaction after that?
When it worked, straight away, I was like, oh, I need to make this into a business.
Yeah. So before the dream, when you visited the doctors, what were they telling you? Were they prescribing any medicine? Like,
just medicine.
Yeah.
Flagyl, clindamycin.
Right.
You know, I was like Googling everything that you can imagine and doing it. You know, I mean, I was just doing everything. I was on forums. I was putting yogurt inside of a tampon applicator, freezing it, putting it. I mean, it was ridiculous what I was doing. I was doing all kinds of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And nothing was working that I was doing. But I realized the reason why is because whatever I was using on a daily basis was what was causing my pH to be off. So when I would get my cycle, my pH would already be off. Your pH rises when you're on your period, right? And when your period is going off, it's supposed to go back down. Well, if it doesn't get back to where it's supposed to get to, then that can make you susceptible to an infection.
Right.
And typically people that have a recurring infection, whether it's yeast or BV, that's typically when it's going to happen around that time. It's going to have to happen after sex. Why after sex? Because you've just introduced, especially if it's not protected, you've just introduced somebody else's pH into your body. And if a man releases inside of your body, right, semen is alkaline, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
it's carrying life.
Yeah.
That's where babies come from, right?
Yeah.
Babies couldn't live encased in acid. They need to be lived encased in alkaline oxygen, and you know, so it makes sense. There's nothing wrong with you if it happens. Doesn't necessarily mean that your partner is making you sick. It's just literally like chemistry, you know. It's pH scales, you know.
That's amazing that you like that it came to you, just your grandmother came to you in a dream and she gave you this amazing these ingredients, and now not only did you heal yourself, you are like helping to change the world, you know, one pad, one tampon, one wash at a time. When you were going through this whole process, were you like, did you feel like there was a discrepancy when it came to like Black women and talking about like vaginal care, or did you feel like, oh, there's enough information out there, I just have to go find it?
No, there wasn't a ton of information out there. I mean, it's more information out there now because, you know, we're kind of in the years of the vagina, right? Like, this word is a hot topic. This is, you know, you might look on the cover of Vogue and see a like vagina on the cover, right? Like it's a thing now. But it hasn't always been a thing, but that's great because, you know, it's just a good time. It's dope that that vagina is becoming less of a dirty word.
Yes. Now all we gotta do is get equal pay, and we almost there, ladies. We almost there.
So how did you come up with the name, the Honeypot, and then company?
Yeah, I was just driving down the street and I saw a band poster that was called the Honeypot Band.
The honey.
And I was like, oh, wow, that's dope. I should call my company the Honeypot Company. That's how it happened.
Right.
That's
What
good.
was-
Girl,
what
don't
was the
tell them that.
first-
They're going to try to take a piece. They're going to try to take a piece of these pads. Don't do that.
It's already trademarked.
Hey. What was the timeline like from the time that you first made the the healing potion that your grandmother gave you until you became like a full-fledged business? How long did that take?
I mean, we got our articles of incorporation in 2012. We were selling through email like maybe a year into like starting Honeypot, but that's because we were giving it away because we wanted to make sure it wasn't just working for me.
Okay.
And then people started ordering through email like 2013, 2014. Is when we launched at the Brown Brothers Hair Show, and then when we started like building a website and doing all that stuff.
Were the pads the first products that you guys made?
No, the washes were our first.
Oh, the
product.
washes.
Is it the sensitive wash or like the normal wash?
The normal wash, the sensitive wash. They were called something different, but yeah.
What's the difference between them, by the way?
The amount of ingredients that are in each, the concentration of ingredients. So the sensitive has a lesser concentration. The normal has a higher concentration. The mommy has the least concentration.
Got it. Oh, I will just tell you, I just tried this for the first time. I feel nice and fresh and clean. Not that I wasn't before, but I'm just saying it's a different kind of clean. Yeah. It definitely is different. I like it. Yes.
Good. Thank you.
One question, you mentioned the mommy to be line. Why did you come up with a mommy to be line, and what does it consist of?
I wanted to have a wash. I wanted to develop a wash for mommies because of all the things that are going on with the hormones. I wanted her to have a tool that could be proactive for her vagina. Just because, so much is happening during that time, right? Like sometimes some women are extra juicy. Sometimes some women are just like, getting yeast infections or BV. All kinds of things are going on. And Honeypot can't cure those things, but they can help to bring ease. And what makes that formula different, it doesn't have any lavender in it. It doesn't have shatavari extract in it. So it's missing a few of the herbs because you want to be careful with herbs around pregnancy.
Right.
It's so scary after pregnancy. Like I remember the first time the first time I delivered, it's like, I didn't want anything to touch me. Like I was wearing those mesh underwear for like 3 months.
Right.
Like, I don't want to put nothing. Even now, I don't want to put anything in it. I'm like 7 months in and I'm just using pads because it's just so traumatic. Like this whole human busts out and then it doesn't feel the same. It takes a while to get back.
Yeah, but the wash, you could use the normal or the sensitive wash now.
Yeah, I know I am. I'm a big baby, but
no, I'm just saying because it's not. Because the thing that you have to remember is your vagina's inside your body.
Yeah.
These are vulva washes.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but it is topical. Your skin is porous, so anything you put on your body goes inside because your skin is an organ.
Right.
But yeah.
And I like that you have the postpartum pads as well, which we all know, if you have a baby, you need those pads, okay? You need it for a while.
Yeah.
So that's really cool that you made those thinking about the mommies, because I know a lot of our listeners are like, oh, I wish I knew when I had my baby.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Literally. Well, maybe if you have another one.
Oh yeah,
not me.
Buy it for a friend.
Yeah,
Buy it for your friends. Buy it for your friends for sure. Because I had to have some friends that I'm like, oh, you're gonna need these pads, honey.
Yeah, and it's nice because you can spray the witch hazel on and put it in the freezer.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You talked a little bit about the pH balance, and you have a lot of products that specialize in that. Like, why is it so important for us to understand our pH balance with our vagina, and how do we know when it's off balance?
Well, you know that it's off balance if there's any kind of odor, if you're having any kind of irritation, if you're feeling dry, if and that can be a hormonal thing as well. If you're having an infection, whether it's yeast or BV, if you've gotten busy with somebody and have gotten an infection or a disease or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's important because it's a fine line. It's like 3.5 to like 4.5. Like that's kind of the place that you want to live in. Every vagina is going to have a different pH, right? But you know that it's off because something will be off,
Right.
If you're really susceptible to any kind of infection, if you get UTIs all the time, if you, it just depends on what's going on with your body, but your body tells you when something's going on, and yeah.
You just have to listen. And I've watched many of your interviews, and you also talk a lot about, like what we put in our body. And I'm really big on that. And like what we put in is like essentially what is going to come out, and, what, so it's not only, using the right products, but like eating the right foods so that you can heal yourself, to balance out, these amazing products.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, what you put in your body, you know what it is? It's like a lot of times we can be so disassociated with the fact that we live on this planet and all the things that we live on this planet with.
Yeah.
Right. Like the fact that most of the planet is made of water, right? Our fruits and vegetables come from the planet, right? Like we can plant them. We need sunshine, right? You need the moon because that regulates the water, right? We are earthlings, and so you have to be conscientious of that. You have to understand that. That's why it's important for us to eat the things that are organic to the planet, because this is where we were born. This is where we belong. This is what our body understands. So if you're not doing that, then there's going to be a deficiency. Right. You're probably not going to be at your happiest, right? You're probably not going to be flowing the way that you need to flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're not eating well, it's going to communicate.
Right.
So
you just give all kind of good advice and lessons, B. Okay, you just over here healing the vaginas and the spirits all at the same time. Okay.
Thank you, sister.
You're welcome. So I'm gonna tell you this. When I first used your pad, I felt a little tangle down there, and I was like, "Oh, this feels good." And then I was like, "Wait a minute, I think I'm having an allergic reaction. What is going on?" And then I was reading that it went away, of course, because your body like starts to go like, "Oh, we like this." What is that from? What is that tingle from?
It's from the mint in the pads.
Why do you add mint?
The mint is cooling. Okay. And if that's there because it's hot, even if it's cold, your coochie is hot.
Hot. It's hot.
Yes, especially if you got some thick old thighs that don't ever let no air through.
Yeah, exactly. And we use rose, which these are essential oils, they're herbs. I have to be careful with what I say these things do. But blood, rose can help with kind of like with circulation. Lavender is calming. The mint is cooling. We have a Chinese herb or Korean. I don't know if it's Chinese or Korean. It's one of the two. Called Hatunya, which is really powerful with bacteria. So all those things are working together to kind of just help you along in your period, with all the things that you're dealing with. The other thing that's really great that I love is that you don't smell like your period. You smell like the herbs.
Yes. Were you like a mad scientist, like, putting different herbs?
I didn't. A man called George Lynn, I believe is his name, created these. His name is George. He created these pads, and his wife had had uterine cancer. And so he wanted to develop something for her to give her some relief. And so he was just working with herbs and Chinese medicine and just trying to figure out what would be good. Nice. And then he stumbled on using the essential oils, and she actually was cured of her cancer. And then she also was able to have a baby, which they told her she would never do. Wow. Now, was it just that? I'm sure that they were doing other things, but that was one of the changes that they made. And he, you know, he loves his wife, so he committed to it and created this type of pad.
Oh, that is good. Yes, I'm telling you, it smells so fresh and so clean. I promise you, it smells so good.
I was just thinking as you're talking, do you have like a spiritual mentor type of person that you kind of consult with because I'm just getting all these good vibrations from you on the screen.
Thank you.
You know, where do you go to kind of separate from all of the craziness of being a business owner, so that you can come back to you? A lot of people are dealing with
wherever I go, I want to go there today. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Look, I mean, for me, everything is my mentor. You know, life is my mentor. Death is my mentor.
Yeah.
You know, my family is my mentor. My mom, my brothers, Skip and Simon. Stoicism is a mentor for me. Osho is a mentor for me. Pema Chodron is a mentor for me. Just people that have a respect for life and for how precious in the present moment, you know, how precious those things are. I've seen, but I really do a lot of work though, you know, like, I practice, to say that I practice it isn't even, it makes it, I guess it's a figure of speech, but you know, the spirituality around me is Santeria Lukumi, but I have an energy shaman that I go to.
Yeah.
You know, we've never even physically met, but we've met, you know, and she helps me. I've got, you know, Baba Laos and you know, priestesses that help me. I mean, everything helps me, right? Like, everything that's connected. You guys are here right now, right? Like, we're having a good conversation, so that, you know, this helps me. Everything does, you know?
Yeah.
So nothing in particular.
Right.
That's why you sound like my doula, because she is so in touch with like everything that you're saying. I know what you're talking about because of her, because she was, I remember when I first met with her trying to find a doula, and I was like, you know what, I really like your energy. And then she taught me a lot of stuff, but I get like the same, like I just want to hug you, B. I get the same vibe from you.
Right. Yeah, no, and because I've been indulging in Queen of Fools. I feel like I'm on her 4th book now.
Mm-hmm.
And during like COVID, I feel like I was going a lot like left, and then I recentered back into like her teaching, and I just have been running into these people who I could just feel their energy. It's weird. Like I was supposed to hear them speak, or I was just supposed to see what they had to offer, you know? And I get chills. It's crazy.
Whatever shows up in your life is what's supposed to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we always want to go to shit that we think is supposed to, like this was supposed to happen like that, but it's like, no, it happened like this. So that's how it was, that was however it showed up, whether it was fantastic or whether it was terrible,
right,
was how things was supposed to happen, you know?
Right.
You better preach that word.
I believe that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just.
So I think a lot of us were introduced to you when we saw your Target commercial, which I love. I remember seeing like, what? This is crazy, you know? Like it was just a whole moment. But of course, with every good thing, experiences some sort of backlash. However, And I remember watching you on a live, and the person interviewing, he was a white man, and he was going off like, F them, they don't know what they're talking about. And you were so calm and like gracious in your response. It was like nothing I've ever saw. You basically said, to summarize, all that hate basically transformed to like the biggest year of my career, and during that time, it was when I saw that interview, there was a lot going on. There was riots in LA. It was just like going crazy where I live. And I was just like, how do you get that, for people talking, basically upset because you said you wanted Black and brown girls to be inspired. And where do you pull that energy from, to answer a question with so much hate, it's like, and it was supposed to be a negative thing for you, it was supposed to make you upset. Where do you pull that graciousness from when experiencing? Because I'm sure that wasn't the first time you heard that, it was just a bigger scale.
Again, everything that I've been through has gotten me to this moment, and I've just been on the other side of the grass where I wouldn't have handled that the same way,
right.
But I know that none of that shit was mine. Like, that was theirs. That wasn't mine. Mine was, I want to be an example for other Black women that are doing what we're doing. I want us to be able to rise up. I want us to be able to raise the money we need to raise and get the valuations we need to get, and potentially exit our companies the way that we want to, right? And I know that the way to do that is for a growing group of people to do that, right? If a venture capitalist doesn't see Black and brown women exiting and selling their businesses, they don't think that that's a viable thing to invest in, because they just don't see it. People believe the shit that they see.
Yeah.
While it's absurd,
right,
because it shouldn't matter what color we are. If we show Up and we can run a business, grow it, scale it, sell it, who gives a fuck if I was purple?
Right.
So, that was my purpose for saying what I said, but I don't need to explain that shit to nobody if I don't want to, right? Because that's my business, right? What I said came out of my mouth, out of my head, right? I didn't say it to inflict anything in particular, to be completely honest.
Right.
I would have said it whether, if I'm grateful that young girls walk up, or, there was a young girl that wrote a really beautiful article that she was the Black girl I was talking about. I'm grateful that people felt inspired by that, but I didn't necessarily say it for that. I said it because that's truly how I feel. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So I can't really give a fuck if somebody feels opposite of that. That's their business. Right.
Yeah.
Like, and no disrespect to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm not going to make your projection of something that I said mine, especially if I know that what I said and why I meant it. Right. If somebody calls me something and I know I'm not that thing, why would I allow that thing to take me over if I know that I'm not that thing? The only reason why it would bother me is if I thought that I was that thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, just sometimes just better to, there are things that bother me. People that I love bother me, can get under my skin.
Yeah.
But if I'm honest, strangers can't really get under my skin because they don't know me and they don't really care to,
Right.
And if they do, that wouldn't be how they would go about doing it.
Yeah.
Right. I feel that.
You gotta have tough skin for this business, man. Because just being a Black woman in America, you gotta be tough because not only you're a woman, but you have to face the extra added strain of racism, and you're just trying to have a business. Like you're just, you know what I mean? Like you're not doing anything out of the norm. You're just you have a business and you're trying to do your business and all this extra stuff that gets added to you. One thing that I did want to ask was, you know, I know just growing up, I don't think I ever had a Black woman, whether it was my aunts or my, grandmother, anybody really talk to me about like vaginal care. It was like, just make sure you wash. I might have heard about douching. I might have heard about like.
I did too.
Yeah, like
but that's what they were taught, right?
Right. So do you feel like, specifically for Black women, what is something that they should know about vaginal care?
Well, not just for Black women, for any human that has a vagina, right? Like I'd like for us to get out of this, and I understand that this podcast is for Black women. I get that, right? We would just get so much further if we understood that we're people.
Yeah.
And people are connected, just like the air is connected to the trees, all of it is connected, right? Like we would get so much further if we could just get past our skin color. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we've all got eyes. Every person I know got 2 eyes, and a nose and a mouth and teeth and ears and hair, and all the women got vaginas, and all they got titties too, and all the men got penises, and you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's so much more that brings us together, and it sucks that all the shit that's been done to us, we should have PTSD.
Yeah.
We should want to rally and go into a corner, right?
Yeah.
And in my mind, which is just my opinion, which doesn't mean anything, in order for us to get to a real place, we would get there by truly understanding that we're all on this planet together, so for human with vagina kind,
Yeah.
It's important to keep yourself clean. It's important to not, you don't need to clean your vagina, which is the inside part of your body. You do need to wash your vulva, right? When you wash your vulva, you should not use a washcloth. You should use your hands. You can actually use your hands for the front and the back. You just need to clean your hands and under your nails really good between both, right? Make sure that my phone keeps going off and turning around. I'm a person that tells people to take 2 showers a day. A shower in the morning because you've been sleeping all night, you've been sweating, tossing, turning, whatever. A shower at night because you've been out all day.
Yeah.
You might have been taking care of your babies and at work and, running around doing what you got to do and going back and picking up the kids. You homeschooling them, you doing this, you're doing, so much is happening. And you should wash it all off,
Right.
You don't necessarily have to use Honeypot, but Honeypot is a good option. Our wash is an excellent option because it's water, it's coconut oil, it's apple cider vinegar, it's beautiful essential oil, it's clean and it's simple, right? And our bodies understand clean and simple, and it's made with a lot of plant-derived ingredients. If you're susceptible to infections, you're definitely a person who should wash a couple times a day. But, and the other thing is that we should do which you guys alluded to earlier, we should strive, if we choose to take shame out of the conversation when it comes to shit that's absolutely normal.
Right.
Yeast is normal, man. Stinky coochie is normal. It happens.
Yes.
Right?
No, wait, I have a question, because you remember I asked this, Megan. We had a gyno on here, and I was like, is it cool to just not wear underwear and like let it air out? Because I don't like underwear. I really don't like underwear. But she didn't really answer that question, I don't think. I was like, is it cool to just like let it air out?
No, she did. She said, let it breathe.
Let it breathe. If you're a person, I'm not a person who just wants to just be out here. Like, I don't want my coochie just touching everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like weird like
touching
that.
me. Like, I just don't like clothes touching me. Like, it's like
I be feeling like everybody can see my vagina if I don't have underwear on, and I can have sweatpants. I'll be like, you can see my vagina through these sweatpants. Like, I just be feeling like I'm out here if I have no underwear.
But I think everybody should do what they want. Just be conscientious that if you're not wearing panties, whatever you wore, you need to put them in the washing machine.
Right. Yeah,
they need to be clean.
Yeah.
You guys, I wear underwear. I'm just like, sometimes I just.
Girl, take that shame out there. Just you out here free.
If you don't want to wear underwear, that's your coochie. You can do what you want.
Go. You just free balling, free coochie and out here.
Free balling. Yeah. Let it breathe, man.
Oh man, no. Megan, what are we?
I was gonna ask you too. We're about to get out of here, but B, I want to ask you what's next for Honeypot Company.
Oh, that's me.
To be honest, right now, just continuing to run a really lean, efficient operation where we're supplying for our demand.
Because Target is Target. I go to Target sometimes, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but
I be grabbing the last. Like, give me that.
Yeah, it's always like
everybody be trying to get it.
But you know what it is? It's not Target.
Oh,
it's the fact that when people see that it's there, they buy it all up.
Yep.
Literally,
and then
I called Megan, and I saw a girl grab the last of the orange tampons, and I was like, dang, I wanted to run up to her and be like, I'm interviewing her, like maybe she would give me her last of her box.
I love it. That's sweet. Thank you.
You thought she was gonna give it to you? I would have been like, no. You interviewing her, asking, don't be trying to get this last box of tampons. This is mine.
But I understand running a lean business, but with all of the ingredients, I would love to see a baby line, because I'm so particular about what I use with the babies. I always use Dr. What is it called?
Dr. Bronner's.
Yeah. I use it for everything with the kids, because everything has so much crap in it.
Dirty stuff.
And their skin is so sensitive. Mm-hmm. But I just see,
Thank you.
Can I wash my face with this?
You can wash your face.
See, I really thought, because let me tell you why, because I looked this up on the Think Dirty app, which like tells you like if a product has too many dirty materials in it, and this came up very low. It was like a number 3, okay? On the scale goes to 10. So anything below 5 is like great. So I was like 3. I was like, what if I put this on my face? That
you can.
Okay.
People put it on their face.
What? All right, B. I'm gonna send you a picture after I use it on my
Your
face.
skin is so pretty, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh, you're sweet, girl. That's just highlighter. But thank
you. Well, thank you so much for answering all of our crazy questions.
No, I'm happy to. Thank you for having me on. I'm grateful.
So we have one last segment. It's called I'm Fine. It's basically we like to leave with a little inspiration, because we're not fine. We may act like we are most of the time, but we're not. So Megan has a quote today, which surprised me who it's from.
Yes. Okay, so this is a quote. It is so liberating to really know what I want, what truly makes me happy, what I will not tolerate. I have learned that it's no one else's job to take care of me but me. And that is from the one and only Queen Bee, Beyonce. Yeah. And I know Marisa is like surprised because I don't be quoting Beyonce like that. I'm a critic, but I love her, but I'm a critic. But no, I really like this quote because I think even today we're just talking about, like taking care of yourself, take it, the power to just go, all right, these are the things I like, the things I don't. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to be a person who says what they will do and what they won't do. And this is important for me because I feel like once I became a mom, I have been so passive with stuff like, okay, that's fine, let it slide, it's cool, only for that to build up resentment in my life. And I'm resenting a lot of things, and because I've just said yes to too many things. So, now it's time to be like, okay, I got to take care of me. I'm on my own journey to do better and take care of myself, take care of my wants and needs. I'm about to go join this lady kickball team, okay? After this, I'm about to go play kickball. I can't kick for nothing, so hopefully they keep me on the team. But like, my point is, I'm doing stuff that like makes me happy, and taking care of myself. And same thing with take care of your girl down there, take care of your vulva, take care of your vagina, do the things that you're supposed to do, take care of yourself. So that is a word for this week.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so B, before we get out of here, is there anything that you would like our viewers and our listeners to know about your company, about just life in general, whatever?
Double down on all the shit you just said, because it is only our responsibility, right? How you eat. If you are an adult, how you eat, how you pay your bills, how you buy your clothes, how you do all of that. It is great if you have a partner that can help you do that. But understand, if you don't have that, that is your responsibility. And even with that partner there, it is not your partner's responsibility to look after you. It is your responsibility to look after you, especially when it comes to your well-being. So everything you just said.
Cool, girl. B, I could talk to you all day. But before we get out of here, we're gonna leave all of our viewers and listeners with a code. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Support Honeypot Company because it's a great product. I mean, Marisa and I use it. We love it. Use the code MNAB15. Of course, that's the abbreviation for Mommy Needs a Break. MNAB15. Use that code on the Honeypot Company website, and you'll get 15% off.
And it's only a limited time, so don't forget to use it. Also, we used all of the Honeypot products, so we will also be doing a review later on this week. Me and Megan. So check that out. We will link that in this video on Tuesday. And yeah.
Yes, it's been great taking a break with you guys. We hope that you'll come again next week and take your break with us. We have many, many more amazing guests, just like B. If they want to hit you up on social media, B, where can they do that? And the Honeypot as well.
I am Bea Dixon, BEADIXON, and at the Honeypot Co.
Yes.
And then you can go to our website, the Honeypot Co, or thehoneypot.com. And if you want to figure out what stores we're in, you can go to our store locator on our website and put in your zip code, and it'll tell you.
Yes, get your pants. I'm Megan Thomas. Follow me at Meg Scoop everywhere.
I'm Marisa. Follow me at She Is Marisa J, and make sure to follow Mommy Needs a Break on MNAB Podcasts all over the internet, and visit our website at mnabpodcast.com. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.